Well, this weekend, we unfortunately had a deadly traffic collision here in San Diego that involved a wrong-way driver.
And joining us in studio right now to talk about this, Sergeant Brian Pennings from the CHP, to really address how this happens, things we can do to prevent falling into that situation. And it's so jarring when you see or hear about a story like this because it's so unexpected. How common is this, and what do we need to know?
Well, Andrew, I'll tell you, it's very uncommon. Actually, it's less than 1/10 of 1% of the crashes that occur on our freeways involve wrong-way drivers. They're very rare. However, when they do occur, it's catastrophic because the impact speeds that are involved.
You know, it happens a lot at night. We see that. Why is that?
Well, the 54% of all wrong-way crashes happen between the hours of 11 p.m. and 11 p.m. and 4 a.m. Oftentimes they involve people who are under the influence. And at nighttime, people maybe not be familiar with the area and may be lost. So it's that time frame between 11 p.m. and 4 a.m. that includes over half of these collisions.
What kind of commonalities do we find when you look at these kinds of things happening as far as where they happen? Obviously the time of day you're talking about, or maybe the type of driver. What's the common denominator?
So what we know about wrong-way drivers is the majority of them happen at night between 11 and 4, as we discussed. The majority of them also include drunk drivers or impaired drivers under the influence of alcohol and or drugs. That's 64% of the people. It also happens on the weekends from Friday night to Sunday. The vast majority of them happen during those time frames. So if you find yourself in those types of in that time frame in those areas, be aware that this could happen.
So I was just going to say as far as where on the freeway, we talked about this a little bit.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, that's kind of interesting.
100% of the wrong-way drivers that I have experienced in my almost 30-year career have always been in the number 1 lane. And the reason why that is, if we do get them stopped before they crash and we're able to talk to them, they believe they're on the right side of the road, or the correct side of the road. They're either disoriented, confused. They could be elderly. They could have medical issues and or under the influence.
They think they're in the slow lane. Truth is, they're in the fast lane going the opposite direction.
Correct. And
so, go ahead.
They think they're on the right side of the correct side of the roadway, and they are not, because the people are passing them on their left side.
So really, what can we do as drivers to prevent something like that? Because you never know, when you're on the roadway and you suddenly realize a car is, it's not slowing in front of you, it's actually coming toward you, you know?
Correct. Okay, so we know when and where and how this stuff happens. So if you find yourself in a situation where you're driving at night, you're driving during those hours of darkness, stay out of the number 1 lane. Do not go in the number 1 lane unless you can visually clear and 100% be assured that nobody else is coming the other direction. If you are in the number 1 lane and you're coming up to a crest or a curve in the roadway, get out of the number 1 lane until you can visually clear. Also be very cognizant that oftentimes these people don't have their headlights on and they're completely blacked out. 64% of the cars that drive with the headlights off are under the influence. So you can protect yourself and your family by staying on number 1 lane, maintain your high visual horizon, and be 100% cleared if you're in the number 1 lane, that you can visually clear before you go around that corner or over that hill.
All right, so the number 1 lane being the far left lane as you drive, the fast lane, the HOV lane, whatever the farthest to the left is.
Correct. The farthest lane to the left is considered number 1 lane.
Because they think they're on the far right.
Correct.
Which they are, I guess, technically. So let's talk about the physics of this.
Yes.
And why it's so devastating. Because you're going 70, 75 miles an hour.
Right.
They're going, let's just say 75 miles an hour. That's 150 miles an hour. Correct.
And it's simple. It's simple physics. Yeah. When you have your impact speed or the 2 vehicle speeds added together, and it's catastrophic. The impact speeds are oftentimes result in a fatal collision just because of the speeds that are involved. That's why they're so catastrophic and so important to address and try to avoid.
And they close in twice as fast.
Yeah.
Yes, and it's of utmost importance. If you see somebody who you think even is may get on the wrong way, or is getting on the wrong way, or has a potential to get on the wrong way, please call 911 immediately so that we can get officers en route to try to prevent a tragedy from happening.
Before I let you go, if it's okay, I want to ask you, I know there have been some efforts to try to stop this by putting up flashing lights. What would you do if you were in charge?
So there's three things: the engineering, education, enforcement. Enforcement we do. The education is what we're doing right now. Engineering is where we work with Caltrans. They put up oversized signs, they put up flashing lights, and they're working on some technology where they have sensors to alarm us if somebody's doing. We put in bot dots. If you ever look behind you on the freeway, the bot dots are red. They're not white, so they reflect red, so they alert the person that, hey, you're going the wrong way. Those types of engineering stuff we've already implemented, and we're working for other ways to try to make the road safer. But the engineering and the education part of it is important, as well as the enforcement. And I thank you for the opportunity to be able to talk about this and share this, because unfortunately we had a tragedy this weekend.
Such good information, and especially just to understand it better, and the advice you're given, hopefully saving some lives.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Brian. We appreciate it.